again this time to talk about the God of War Trilogy. I've had a great deal of fun in prior years as well as on stream recently, cleaving through hordes of undead soldiers all the way until we reach the ending. And now I'm here to give my thoughts on the adventure while using some of the things we've witnessed as a teaching tool for writing craft, as well as give a final score. And now, with introductions out of the way, it's time for another one of Kaine Walker's Dread Quests in review.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way.
God of War is a hack-and-slash action-adventure game series developed by Santa Monica Studio and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. The series follows the story of Kratos, a Spartan warrior, as he battles gods and monsters from Greek mythology in his quest for revenge and redemption. It details the story of a desperate man turned into a wrathful monster. We follow the journey of Kratos through the 3 original games, as at first he seeks to free himself from the nightmares of his greatest betrayal and failure. Tasked by the gods to kill his former master, he faces countless trials only to be betrayed again and again by not only the Olympians, but by the primordial titans as well. Throughout this series, we learn exactly what made a simple mortal into the tragedy known as the Ghost of Sparta. The most important character in the series is Kratos, but through this journey, he's aided by both Olympus and the Titans. Other characters do appear, but they are more or less used to highlight the grimdark atmosphere that follows him in his journey. There's his family, who he was tricked into murdering by Ares, the original god of war gone mad, the boat captain, who is really just a running gag, and a few other Greek figures that we don't get to know very well, presumably because of their legends being known already. But I think I'll save my remaining thoughts for the interactions portion. What can I say? I'm a complete sucker for Greek mythology, and though they take their fair share of creative liberties, this feels like the most authentic portrayal of the Greek classical world in all of fiction, in my opinion. Within reason, obviously. The monsters don't actually exist, and the fact I even felt the need to make that disclaimer is stupid, but so is the world we live in. Hearing about the creative process made me think they cared very much about immersing the player and making them believe they were in that specific setting. This game makes excellent use of scale when battling large monsters and using the bodies of the Titans as stages rather than simple cinematic set pieces where you can do more than simply quick time or watch. It was a treat to see that this studio once upon a time could do both.
Kratos, your death will not be a gentle one. When my sight returns.
Before the age of the twilight set upon the gods, a legend rose to claim his place among them. And even though Kratos sat on the throne as the new god of war, he was haunted by visions of his family. A family he himself murdered. But the hands of death could not defeat him. The sisters of fate could not control him. And on this day, the man, the legend, Kratos, will have his revenge.
Man, where do I even start? Despair of great failure, the pain of loss, justice and vengeance, the price of power, fear, all of the worst parts of the human experience laid bare, and they still manage to wedge in the fact that there may still be something to make it all worth it. Or at the very least, possible to overcome. Greek mythological tales are renowned for this aspect of storytelling, and this is absolutely no different. You could change the title to God of Themes and Motifs. Each character is written with the exact mystifying, albeit exaggerated sense of refinement we expect from major figures in the classical world. Felt like the creators really did their homework, and Terrence fucking Carson really helped sell it. Just listen to some of this.
If all on Olympus would deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die. I have lived in the shadow of the gods for long enough. The time of the gods has come to an end.
I would definitely understand the gripe with the voice acting being English, but who the hell is trying to learn ancient Greek? As for flaws, I will start with the narrative. As well interpreted as it ends up being, in the beginning it is very confusing, and it's to the point where fans debate Kratos' intentions in the first game. They reduce him to a rage meme and straight up misrepresent the complexity of his character. I don't think the gameplay can be blamed for this. It's almost certainly because of the writing. Speaking of the gameplay, this series is amazing to the point of making me question if a masterpiece can indeed be flawed. But there are some things in it that are simply rage-inducing. Tracking for Orion's harpoon is garbage. I've missed many a hit streak ender because of it and been opened up for enemy attacks. The rage modes in every game are far too weak for how long it takes to build them up. And why is it so hard to get a melee kill with it? For God's sake, I can be interrupted mid-combat far too easily. I think meterless invincibility or super armor is something Kratos should have been given to balance this, on at least 2 more moves. Allow me to speak plainly here when I say I fucking love this series, man. You owe it to yourself to experience this for the combined spectacle that it was since the first game in 2005. This game set the standard for the introduction of good narratives into video games as a whole, and it's pretty easy to see why. The combat is brutal yet satisfying. There are sections that make you want to pull your hair out and throw your controller through a window, but goddamn it was all worth it. With respective scores of 7 out of 10 for God of War 1, 10 out of 10 for God of War 2, and finally 8 out of 10 for God of War 3, I give the original God of War Trilogy as a whole a rock solid 8 out of 10. I had a blast playing this, and I hope y'all do as well, but I've gone on long enough. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the other YouTube things, and click the links in the description to keep your finger on the pulse of Cosmogoth. This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, signing off, and I will see you all again next time.